traders in Durban say they fear xenophobic violence spurred on by Operation Dudula. Representatives for foreign nationals and city officials met the CBD today after plans emerged on social media that Operation Dudula would be launched in KwaZulu-Natal later this month. Now, the campaign seeks to root out undocumented migrants from various communities. For more on this, we're joined by our reporter, Karinda Jagmohan. Karinda, very good afternoon to you. eThekwini municipality is saying that Operation Dudula in KZN is not an option.
Yes, indeed. So today was a meeting between representatives for migrant workers as well as city officials where there was concern about Operation Dudula unfolding in Durban. Durban has a history of violence, xenophobic violence. Remember in 2015 there were clashes between South African protesters and migrant workers and several people were killed. Since then these violent clashes have been surfacing occasionally through the years. Even last year this time a number of migrant traders who were working in the Durban CBD were displaced following some of those violent clashes. So when they heard about the Operation Dudula unfolding and social media messages doing the rounds about the operation being launched in KwaZulu-Natal, Durban rather, later this month, they called on this meeting to speak about how they can protect themselves from the possibility of another bout of violent clashes. The eThekwini municipality, some of their representatives here saying that while people do have the right to, the democratic right to protest on the streets, they do not have the right to further injure someone or damage their belongings. And so this is the line that they are drawing, wherein now they want to try and engage with those who want to start the Operation Dudula here in Durban to speak about what the way forward will be ahead of this launch of the operation later this month. Some of the preventative measures or measures they're taking is just to ensure that there's now communication between the migrant traders and those who want to carry out Operation Dudula to ensure that those who are documented remain safe. One of the issues that they brought up is that the civilians who are being part of Operation Dudula are not essentially law enforcement authorities that have the mandate to root out those who are undocumented. And so this is the concern that many foreign nationals have in the city, and they say that it's further intimidating many of those who are here, and it is ultimately a threat on their lives. So this group will continue meeting later for the rest of this month until they can try and at least they say they want to try and find some engagement between migrant traders and those carrying out Operation Dudula to find a way forward. And one of the topics or the issues that one of these stakeholders brought up was essentially that, my apologies, that there needs to be further to this discussions about high rates of unemployment that is ultimately causing much of the disgruntlement here in the city, where ultimately people who are unemployed are looking for jobs and say that migrant traders are taking their jobs. They say this needs to be at the core of the discussions they're having going forward. The Durban Metro Police representatives that was at this meeting confirmed they've received an application to buy Operation Dudula to launch later this month, and so that is why these meetings between migrant traders and city officials are taking place in Paul.
And when it comes to the actual date that has been singled out and approved, what's the sentiment around that day, as well as some of the pressing concerns that you continue to raise in this discussion, Karinda?
So on social media, the posters that are doing the rounds on social media points to the 27th of March, the following Sunday here in Durban, where it's described as a mass meeting to launch Operation Dudula in Durban. And so this poster is what ultimately spurred on this meeting between migrant traders and city officials. There's also some representatives of civil society organizations. Metro Police was at this meeting as well. Ultimately to discuss just the safety of migrant traders. like I mentioned, even last year, there were clashes here in the city where a number of people working at the workshop, which is a mall, where a number of migrant traders are working in small business there, they were displaced, and many have not even returned to their jobs there. So that was the discussion on how to ensure that those documented migrant traders who have the permits to trade in the city remain safe ahead of what they believe might be violent clashes as they see these posters of Operation Dudula doing the rounds, and from seeing what unfolded in Alexandra last month.
Very well. Let's leave it there for now. Corinda Jagmohan giving us the latest there on Operation Dudula in KZN.